everyone, I'm Casey, and in this video I'm going to be talking about CHWY, why I think it's still a great company long term, but I sold some of my position very recently. I made a video in the past when CHWY was $60 saying that I had a long-term price target of $100. It hit that within like 3 or so months of making that video, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I still believe in the company long term, but think it may be a smart decision to take some of the profits off the table if you've been holding it recently. So as I mentioned, I made a video in late August of this year when CHWY was about $60. The stock had already risen quite a bit during the COVID stock rally, if you will. The ones like the e-commerce stocks, the ones that all benefited from COVID. CHWY definitely was a part of that rally. However, I still thought there was a lot more room to go, and sure enough, there was. Just a week ago or so, it hit $100, got as high as, I believe, $104 or $107, and has since started to sell off just like a lot of the COVID stocks that have ran up really high have. I sold about half of my position when the stock was about $90, and then it ran all the way up to the $104, $107 that I was mentioning, and then I just recently sold another half. So basically I'm left with about a quarter of what my original position in CHWY was, and a lot of that has to do with that the stock is up about 225% on the year, and in the last 3 months has gone up about 65%. When it was in the hundreds, it was close to 90%, give or take whatever the price was at. It was touching or at 90% in 3 months. And I just think that is unsustainable in the short to medium term. And the last thing I want to do with a very successful stock is be greedy. I've learned that the hard way. I've learned that patience is key, but at the same time, you don't want to be greedy and wait for the stock to get higher and higher when it's most likely not going to stay at this overextended position. So where do I think CHWY is going in the short to medium term? That's of course hard to tell. However, I think if it stays above 90, that's actually a really, really good sign, and I may consider getting back in. However, I do think in the next several months, a lot of these COVID stocks and e-commerce stocks such as CHWY, Amazon, Shopify, so on and so forth, are going to start coming down from their huge rallies because the economy is going to start picking up. Hospitality, travel, all of these things that were previously hurt are going to start picking up. And so I think the money is going to rotate out of these high growth, e-commerce, online, COVID beneficiary stocks. So when we're talking about price, I think CHWY could get all the way back down to 70. Maybe it'll bounce off of 80, but I do think it will be very impressive and a good thing for CHWY shareholders if it stays above 90. If that's the case, in several months it's still above 90, I don't think it's going to drop below it. However, to me, the amount of gains that I've had, you know, the 70, 80% or so, I bought the stock when it was $55, and so when it was in the hundreds, I was close to 100% gain. For me personally, or anybody else that might have had CHWY earlier than me or around the same time as me, or even in the 70s or 80s, it may be worth looking at taking some off the table. One of the last things I want to touch on, because I didn't want this video to be too long, I wanted it to be more of an update video, is mentioning their earnings. Their earnings were great. They didn't like absolutely blow everyone out of the water. They were solid, just as all of the earnings have been. One of the key things I want to mention is it looks like they're getting closer and closer to profitability. Their EPS was better than expected, and I believe it was they lost 8 cents on their EPS was negative 0.08. So it's not that bad. They're getting closer and closer to profitability, which is a great sign as a long-term shareholder, which I still plan on being. But right now, I think I'm going to keep my position small and then look for a good opportunity to get back in. One of the last things I wanted to mention, a little off topic from CHWY, is that this new year I'm planning on making at least one video a week. I'm going to be trying to do more than that as much as I can. I'm working full-time right now, and I also have my own small business, a small hobby business that I do on the side. So time is premium, but I'm definitely going to try my best. I, of course, fell off the last couple of months, and I'm going to make sure that does not happen again. I'm going to be making a video, probably filming today actually, a video on Tattooed Chef, updating that. It's finally risen, and I'm profitable again, which is great because it was down quite a bit. Also going to make an update possibly on Activision, but I'm definitely going to make an update on Open Door, which has just been a phenomenal company. And then I also plan on making a new video on buying IPOD, IPOE, and IPOF, which are Chamath's SPACs. I can't pronounce Chamath's last name. I should probably figure that out before I make that video. But anyway, enough from me. To kind of sum it all up, if you've been owning CHWY for a while, seriously consider taking some profits. Don't be greedy. Profit is profit. You never lose money taking profit, obviously. And just, be grateful for big gains. Don't always be looking for more. So thank you so much all for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like the content. And I'll see you all shortly.